Good morning, class. Today, we're going to talk about the elements of the story. In this video, we will define each element and afterwards, we are going to watch a short story which we will be plotting.
A version of the tale by thefablecottage.com. The wind and the sun are having a disagreement. I am the most powerful, says the wind. No, I am the most powerful, says the sun. I can blow trees to the ground, brags the wind. I can push ships across the ocean. I can make hurricanes and tornadoes. Is that right? Replies the sun. Well, I can melt all the snow on the mountains. I can dry up an entire lake. I can make a sidewalk so hot that it cooks an egg. Just then, they see a man walking along the road in his winter jacket. Let's have a contest to see who is more powerful, says the wind. Whoever can remove the man's jacket first wins. The sun agrees. The wind goes first. He blows a gust of cold wind at the man. The man shivers and zips up his jacket. Brrr, what a cold and windy day. It starts to rain. The wind blows even harder and turns the rain into snow. Well, look at that. It's snowing, says the man. Snow wasn't in the weather forecast today. He pulls his hood over his head. The wind blows its strongest gust towards the man. But the man's jacket stays on. It's a bit fresh today, he says. A winter storm must be coming. He zips the jacket higher to cover his nose. Gah! This is impossible, says the wind. He stops blowing. My turn, says the sun. First, the sun shines enough to stop the snow. The man unzips his hood. Then the sun pulls the clouds apart and gently shines down on the man. Suddenly, it is a beautiful spring day. Wow, the weather sure is strange around here, says the man. He unzips his jacket. The sun gently wriggles her fingers and increases the temperature. What strange weather. Now it feels like summer, the man says as he begins to sweat. Goodness me, it's so hot. He removes his winter jacket. He lies down on the grass for a nap in the warm sun. I win, says the sun, beaming. Moral: sometimes warmth and gentleness can achieve more than strength and force.
And that is the story of the wind and the sun. Now, let us tackle the elements of the story. Elements of a story. First element that we have here is the character. Character is defined as they are the individuals that drive the plot forward. They can be protagonists, antagonists, or supporting characters. The characters in the short story we have watched are the sun, the wind, and the man with the jacket. Next is the setting. Setting provides the backdrop for the story and includes the time, place, and social environment in which the events occur. From the story, it happened in the heavens, in earth, because there is the sun and the wind and the man. Next is the plot. The plot is the backbone of any narrative. It includes the sequence of events that unfold as the story progresses, usually following a beginning, middle, and end structure. The plot consists of exposition, rising action, conflict or climax, then falling action, and then resolution. In the story, exposition is the establishment of the characters and settings. So the first part of the short story is when the story introduces the sun and the wind. Next is the rising action. The rising action is the conflict or problem. The problem is introduced. The problem was, or the conflict was, the sun and the moon was trying to argue if who is more powerful. Then followed by the conflict or the climax, where most important part of the story happens. Usually, the main character faces challenges. In the story, we saw that the wind started showing its power by forcefully blowing wind, giving snow, so that it can force the man to remove its jacket. Afterwards, the falling action is where the tension is released and we start to see results from the challenge. So we saw that when the sun started showing its power, it was in a gentle way, wherein we start to see some results from their argument. We can see that the sun is starting to win the contest. And now the resolution where the problem is answered. The problem was answered when the man removed his jacket after the sun shows its power and slept under the tree. So that is the plot of the story. Now, let's identify the conflict, the central problem or challenge that the characters face. Conflict creates tension and drives the plot forward as characters attempt to resolve it. Without conflict in a story, there will be no story. Because, for example, if the sun and the moon did not argue in the first place, there will be no story. So now, the conflict is that they started to argue if who is more powerful. So what if no one argued if who is more powerful? Then there will be no following story. For example, if we all know John Wick, and if we remember Hugo killing his dog, if only he said, okay, his car is not for sale, then we will not have season 1, 2, and 3. Next is the theme, the central idea or message that the story conveys. A while ago, it said that the moral of the story is sometimes gentle persuasion is better than force. And that's what the short story wants to portray or give in the short story, moral story that they want to share. We saw that the wind used force. He was forceful just to let the man remove his jacket, but then he was not successful. The more that he was doing it, the more force that he was doing to let the man remove his jacket, the more that the man put on his jacket and zipped his jacket. But then when the sun tried to do it gently, started in level by level, normal level, then added more level of heat maybe, and then a stronger level of heat, and that was the time that the man removed his jacket. So, with that we can see that the man was able to be pushed, or he was the man was pushed to remove his jacket because of the heat that the sun gave, the gentle persuasion that the sun gave. So that is the theme of the short story, The Wind and the Sun. I hope that you have learned something. Thank you for watching. Mabuhay!